Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Found the Shinigami Weapons. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Found the Uzumaki Curse and enjoy that over on Anime King 3. And also, I posted a brand new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto Had a Powerful Familiar. So go ahead and enjoy that as well, guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you all for your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, we'll just begin this new episode. Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, as Naruto and the others were not there, with Zabuza as he was talking to someone. Zabuza was talking to none other than Jiraiya of the Sannin. Now that the information was out about who Naruto was, exactly who his parents were, well, Jiraiya felt like more of a failure after all. He was the one that abandoned him. When he should have been there, no, he abandoned him. He left the village, he was not there. As Jiraiya felt like garbage for that, knowing that the kid suffered so much and then hearing Konoha saying that they want to get rid of him. They were glad, some of them, most of them, as that caused a problem within the village when they found out who the kid's father was. As Zabuza got the scroll from Jiraiya, as he was the one that got the stories, to help Naruto learn his spinning drill jutsu that he used on Gaara. Jiraiya gave him more scrolls, and something more powerful, not to mention information on the Hiraishin as well, to give Naruto. So with that, Zabuza made his way off, and they separated. The group made their way towards the town, only for Naruto to see someone, as he wasn't sure who it was, but it looked so familiar. It was then that he recognized a person, an older version of Sasuke, as he recognized the man as the Anbu instead of Itachi Uchiha. Itachi then stopped them along with Kisame, as the group was in town as well. A battle ensued, as Naruto, Haku, and Gurren tried to take on Itachi, but the man was just that much more powerful than them. That was rather surprising, yes. Well, it was not that much, but still, it was frightening how much more powerful he was. As Naruto threw himself in the way, the fire grazed his arm and burned it to crisp. Itachi used a clone, but Naruto had killed the clone, and his weapons had taken the soul of the clone. That being a part of Itachi, Itachi felt it, and he felt the cold fingers of death grasp his soul. Seeing that Itachi had a lot to do before he died, he felt so much rage, thinking that as part of him had died, as he attacked Naruto out of rage and sliced his burned arm off. As Naruto screamed in pain as Itachi realized what he had done, as he calmed down. Tsunade Senju got in the way though, as she punched away Zabuza and Kisame from fighting. Itachi then went on and used the Tsukiyomi on Naruto as he fled. Shizune then went to help Naruto, as Naruto noticed Tsunade just standing there. They got into a rather heated argument, while mostly Naruto telling her how much he ran away and just left like that. He was rather angry and pissed off at her, as Tsunade stood there being filled with grief, sadness, and anger. As it snapped inside of her, she made her way to help the child, as she was able to stop the bleeding and made sure that he could get a prosthetic arm in the future. as Naruto in the past note from exhaustion and the pain. So with that they took him along as Zabuza had someone, he had a friend that can help him out. As they came to a stop near the regions of the rock country, Snatty said there was nothing to worry about because most of the ones that hated Minato had been killed off. And not to mention, if Oniki found out that Naruto was this powerful, he would have wanted him on his side instead of killing him, just to have one over the other villages. As Naruto woke up and told him what happened, Itachi had told Naruto everything in his mindscape, and not to mention, because of what Naruto took from him, Naruto had gained the Sharingan, and everything else inside of him. As Itachi realized that he created a powerhouse with what he did, but he wanted Naruto's help, as Naruto was a part of his plan to help Sasuke. He needed Naruto's help. As Naruto found out that they were going towards the land of iron, making their way, as Naruto was pissing Zabuza off by asking every time, Snatty was tagging along with them as well, along with Shizune, who was happy to see that her master had been acting like this now. As they arrived, as they made Mifune, as he told him about the procedure, but there was also something else that would make Naruto virtually indestructible, but Snatty was a bit worried about this surgery, not knowing how it would affect the kid. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourselves. So to be in this new episode. What do you think, Kyuubi? Said Naruto. As Mifune told him about the dangerous procedure. Well, it is dangerous, and I will say there is a possibility that he will die during the extreme pain. However, having that kind of metal on your bones will be good for you. The healing factor I've given you will improve, and think how badass it would look when you go into that death form. That was enough for Naruto. I'll do it, he said. Very well, said Mifune, as he motioned for them to follow him. We will need your help, Snatty, he said. Right, I'll be there, she said. No matter what, she couldn't let Naruto die from this. Time skip. Mifune was nice enough to let them sleep at his place. It was large to house all of them. As soon as they reached inside, a girl around Naruto's age greeted them. As she had long white hair that was parted as it covered her left eye, which was the amber orange color. She was wearing a deep red kimono, as she was rather beautiful. Yo, was her greeting. Mifune smiled as he placed a hand on the girl's shoulders. This is my daughter, Misa, he said. Zabuza blinked in surprise. Huh? I didn't know you have a kid, he said. Well, if you came here more often, you would know, said Mifune, as Zabuza nodded. After all, he hadn't seen the man since he met Haku. Now please, make yourself at home, he said. I will prepare something. As Misa looked at them with a bored look. Before she smiled, well, you all know me. Why don't you guys tell me who you are? As Naruto smirked. The name is Naruto Uzumaki. Remember it, he said. My name is Haku. It's nice to meet you, Haku said. This hot chick right here is Gurren, said Crystal, as she pointed at herself, as she did a once over at the white-haired girl. Must say, I'm getting a run for my money with you. As Misa simply smiled at that, as she looked towards Snatty. I know who you are, Lady Snatty. One day, I will test my metal against you. Why? Asked Snatty. Simple. You're one of the strongest women in the ninja lands, and even the samurais here will not go against you. I intend to be the first. Snatty gave the girl a challenging smile. You wish, kid, she said. This kid had guts. Shizune then introduced herself, quite politely, as Misa greeted the woman, and Zabuza as well. I already like you people, she said, especially Gurren here. As Gurren raised her eyebrow. You like me too, she said. Ah, I knew there was a connection that we had. As Gurren walked up to the girl, rather closely, causing Naruto and Haku to watch, with a rather intense look. Oh, I am sure that is more of an attraction than a connection, said Misa, as the both of them were so close they were even touching now. Hey, you want to see something fun? Asked Gurren, as Misa noticed the two boys on the verge of exploding. I like fun, she said, as the two girls leaned in and actually kissed. Naruto and Haku were sent sailing from nosebleeds. Zabuza turned his head, as they were just kids, as he walked away. Two girls that were kissing. The girls broke apart as they laughed. As Misa smiled. So, which one is yours? She asked. Haku, the girly looking one. But in a sense, they're both mine, she said, as Misa knew what that meant. So she was with Haku, she considered the other one as her family. Well then, I'll take Blondie off your hand, unless you want to have some girl time. Although, I'm honestly not into that girly shit, said Misa. Well, that will have to wait until later. I have to train Gurin some more, said Shizune. If that is the case, I might as well train Haku some more, said Tsunade, as she was helping him with medical ninjutsu. As she picked him up and went off. As Misa sighed at that, well, it wasn't all bad. She still had the blonde one who was still unconscious, as she set him on the couch to wait for him to wake up. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, an interesting daughter you have, said Zabuza, as Mifune smiled sadly. She takes after her mother. Yeah, you were always one for the odd ones, said Zabuza. You are one to talk. How is the aberrant hair one that threatened to melt you? Asked Mifune. Huh, I'm not sure about that. To be truthful, I've not been to the mist lately. I fled like a coward after my attempt failed to kill the Mizukage, and he hunted me. She probably hates me and probably moved on already. But you have not, said Mifune, as he saw that the man still cared about the one that was known as me. At least not yet. But I see you have an interest in the one traveling with Tsunade. As Zabuza chuckled at that. Maybe. She's a strong woman in her own right, after all. Also, the more I think about my students, the less I want to bring them to the mess. They're great kids, and they don't need to see that horrible war. You are becoming less of a so-called demon, Zabuza. Just do what your heart wants, and you will be happy. Zabuza nodded at that. He also noticed how quickly his old friend changed the subject of Misa's mother. So what happened? With Misa's mother, he said. Yeah, she was a strange and adventurous woman. But not even that can protect her from a rare illness. She passed after Misa's 6th birthday. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't trouble yourself, said Mifune. It was just her time. As the man obviously didn't want pity. As Zabuza spoke, I found an ear, he said. To your sword, I assume. Yes. My blade was never really meant for me, so I had Haku take a hold of it. And there was a rather interesting reaction. If something happened to me, he will get the blade. I see. He seemed like a rather stable young man. What was the reaction? It turned into ice and silver wings started to whip around it. It also confirmed my suspicion about something. Why he's so fast? I believe that he had the swift release. Well, now that's an interesting combination, said Mifune. Time skip. No, that was a rather perverted dream, said Naruto, as he rubbed his eye. That was no dream, Blondie. As Naruto slowly turned his head to see Misa, sitting right next to him. Wait, that was real? Yep. But we were just teasing you, said Misa. Great. Here I thought I was a flirt. Meh, I just do harmless stuff though. Like call girls like you extremely beautiful. But that was hot, said Naruto. She smiled with a blush on her cheeks. Thank you, she said. Now that all the fun is out of the way, why do we get to know each other? Through a spar, if you believe you can keep up. After all, I see that you're missing an arm, she said. As Naruto chuckled a bit. If you think not having an arm is gonna hold me back, well, you'll be surprised. As they went to the dojo. Time skip. Later that night, Zabuza and Mifune saw that Misa and Naruto were getting along well. They joke, they mess around, they punch each other in the shoulders. As it must be from their spar, they must have gotten to know each other. As Mifune was surprised to see a small change in his daughter. That hidden look of sadness in her eyes had disappeared. Even after so much years her mother dead, it still weighed on her. Which he was always here to comfort her, but there was just a part of her that was always a bit sad. But this boy, Mifune didn't know what it was. He had managed to somehow cheer her up. She was happy with him. As Haku and Guren saw it as well. In Guren's opinion, Naruto was a lady killer first. It was Temari, and now Misa. He worked fast. Haku though saw what it really was. Naruto just had this gift about him that can make people instantly turn his friend and also feel warm and safe around him. But it was true, Misa had a crush on the blonde. She was a great guy in her eye, not to mention an excellent fighter, despite his crutch of only having one arm. But he was gonna have to leave soon, so she really should not make an attachment to him. Later that night, despite him being confident Naruto could not sleep, as he was worried, there was a chance he might die tomorrow from the procedure, as the pain would be unlike anything he ever felt before, as he was on top of the roof, looking towards the moon, as he just couldn't sleep. Can't sleep. As he turned to see Misa. "Oh," said Naruto, as he looked down. He sighed. "There is a lot I haven't done yet," he said. "So to die tomorrow would really be a bummer," he said. She sat down next to him. "Dad lied to you," she said. "Huh?" "The procedure. It has been done before," she said. "On who?" said Naruto. She looked away. "Me." "Why?" Naruto asked. As Naruto saw as she sniffled a bit. He slowly placed a hand on her shoulder as she turned. As there were tears run down her face. "My mom died from a strange and rare illness. There was a chance that it would appear inside of me because it just appeared inside my mom. And it did. My dad started to freak out. It was only thanks to my bloodline that I have stronger, that I was able to stay alive." As Naruto was surprised by that, Dad called it Silver Heart Bloodline. Apparently it skipped Mom. It gave me a regeneration power that can match Jinjulikis. She noticed the look on his face when she said Jinjulikis. However, her father already told her what he was, and she didn't have a problem. It was thanks to that I survived so long, but even with my bloodline, I was still dying. It was only a matter of time. So Dad set up the procedure that you're about to undertake. What happened? I died, she said. What? Naruto, he started to freak out. Yes, but it did work, despite the horrible pain. As she started to shiver, as Naruto placed the arm around her, I died for some time, but father never gave up. He continued to work until he was able to restart my heart. But the procedure that was done on me was done with pure silver. The one that you're gonna get is totally different, she said. Are you okay? Said Naruto. It must have been horrible. It was, but there was a light to all of that. Huh? Said Naruto. In addition to living, while I was under, I also saw my mom for one last time. I love my dad, and I would never replace him. But there are just certain things that you do with another parent than one. And my mom, I loved her so much. I missed her, she said. So much. As she cried into his shoulder. Naruto reached out and wiped her tears away. She'll never be gone. She'll always live on in your heart, he said. That's what the old man said about my parents. And I believe him still. As she gave Naruto a hug. He was right. Her love for her mother will never die. And that is what she took to heart. She looked up towards the blonde. The moon was right there. As the both of them looked at each other. A sensation, a feeling, the both of them felt it. As the both of them moved forward. And they kissed. A rather passionate kiss. As they broke it after a while. My mother gave me a mission, she said. To find someone that made me happy. As Naruto was a bit speechless after that kiss, but he spoke. I don't even know when. I'll be back after this. I know that, she said. I just wanted to know how I felt. You made me happy. Since the moment you got here, I don't know, it's just something about you, she said. As she kissed him again. She then pulled apart. Oh, and if I can take pain, so can you, Blondie. As Naruto laughed at that. I suppose you're right. Well then, I better get some rest. You should, Mr. Grim Reaper, she said. As she walked off, walking in a rather seductive way by swaying her hips. Wow, said Naruto. Time skip. This is gonna suck, said Naruto. As he got into the tub of water, he was in a strange room with strange machines. Yes, Mifune said, this will hurt, unlike anything you ever felt. But think about why you're doing this. Just keep those thoughts, and you will be fine. You know, somehow that doesn't make me feel better, said Naruto. Like, not even one bit. As he looked toward the drill-like needles that were gonna stick into his flesh, there was also a metal arm to the side. It seems like they were going to attach it at the same time. So, anything I should know about the metal arm, said Naruto. Survive, and I'll tell you all about it to Mifune, as he walked away. That doesn't help, you know, said Naruto. As Mifune walked towards the upper level, Tsunade came up to him. It seems legit, she said. I hope for your sake this works. I do too, said Mifune, as he looked at all the others in the room. As his daughter Misa, his second in command, was there as well. Then there was the boy teammates, as they all looked fearful for the blonde. Did he look like that when he did this for his own daughter? Mifune wondered to himself. Yes, he must have. We are ready, Mifune-sama, his second in command said. Right. We're going to start now, he said. Just remember what I told you. As Naruto nodded, he pushed the start button. The platform that Naruto lay on, lower into the water. Thankfully, they put the rebreather on. As the drill then came down, along with the new metal arm, it made contact with his skin as Naruto screamed. Tsunade bit her lip, seeing him in pain, as Shizune turned towards Zabuza and hid her face in his chest. It was just a reaction to not see Naruto like that. As Guren squeezed Haku's hand, as Haku watched, he didn't like to see his precious people in pain like this. As Zabuza stood there, hoping that the kid make it through this. You can do it, brat, he thought to himself, as Naruto was screaming just, as his mind and his body, it felt like his whole being was screaming every part of him, but the people that he had met so far, the people, the family, he couldn't die. The fox was working overtime to make sure that Naruto, and by extension himself, did not die as well. The fox growled to himself that he did not stop this from the start, but no, he was curious to how it would go. As Naruto's blood-curdling screams came out, the fox decided to pump his own chakra into the metal, along with Naruto's to make it stronger. Also, with a devious smirk, he added something else, to make sure that this new addition was worth it. As the procedure was nearing its end, Naruto felt his life being pulled away. Thanks to Misa's story, they both knew something like this might happen. But he was not prepared for what was on the other side. Naruto was confused, as he was in a room of pure white, as he didn't know what was going on. The place was just so white. He felt something as he turned to see the fox, who was young. Naruto was confused. The fox was young. What's going on? I'm not sure, kid, but I kind of expected there was nothing on the other side for us. No, I would not say that, Kurama. As Kurama froze, as he turned his head, his eyes widened. Father? Kurama shouted in disbelief. Yes, it has been a while. As he glanced towards Naruto, it seems you are my true heir. Fate has chosen right. Huh? Said Naruto, confused. Don't worry, child. I'm sure that you will know in time. Kurama, come. I wish to speak to you. Let Naruto speak to those that came for him. The fox nodded, but it then growled when it saw two persons. But it waved off with the Sage of Six Path. Naruto. As Naruto slowly turned, as he came face to face with a red-haired woman and a blonde-haired man. Time skip. An hour in dead time was different from an hour in the real world. Time moved differently here, as Naruto couldn't believe that he had met his parents. He never thought this would happen. He spoke to them for about an hour, but it was time. But there was another man that came right around the end. He had long red hair. He looked like another Uzumaki. He had a withered but youthful face. Kurama recognized him. Shayu, he said. The original Grim Reaper. That is correct, old friend, he said. You were there when I died. What are you doing here? What? I can't see an old friend and my successor. But there is more, he said. What would that be, said Naruto. One is a warning. Some of our family has fallen. I need you to find the spirit of my daughter. She has not passed on yet. Mito's spirit, said Naruto. No. The older sister that died before Mito met Hoshirama. I had 3 children, and I know what happened to 2 of them except for Toki. Can you promise me that, he asked. I'll find her, said Naruto. I promise. He didn't know how, but he will find her. Kurama, take care of this child. He has a big destiny ahead of him. I will. Good. As Naruto felt another pull. Naruto! As the pull was getting stronger and stronger, Naruto, he heard his name being called out. The first thing Naruto heard when he woke up was someone calling his name, but he was too groggy and confused, as he did not notice the wires snapping off his body. Damn it. I felt like a mountain fall on me. Well, Brett, at least you're alive. I couldn't have you dying on me. As he heard the voice of Zabuza. Yeah. I feel so loved, said Naruto as he grumbled. Still feeling groggy and out of it, as he was pulled into a hug by his teammates. We were so worried, you idiot, said Goren. Don't do something so stupid again, okay? Can't make any promises, said Naruto. Well, said Haku, it was worth it. It seems like you have some control over that new arm. What is up with that anyway? You said that you wouldn't have any control. Until you learn how to. I can explain that, said Mifune. Due to him being a Jinjoke, and having metal already on his bones, he has a good control due to his new and improved healing factor. Not to mention the fox seemed to have done something, said Mifune. He added bone-like structures in the arm, and manipulated the metal as well, to create katars in them. Sweet. Now I have 3 weapons to choose from, said Naruto. But katars, aren't they gonna hurt when they come out, he said. Like you won't believe, kid, said Zabuza, as Misa came up to him. I'm glad that you made it, she said. So am I, said Naruto. So, who did you meet, she asked, as she got questioning looks from everyone except for Mifune. Well, said Naruto, like you, I met my mother, but I also met my father. Oh, and the original Grim Reaper, and also the Sage of Six Paths. As everyone was shocked. What? Several of them said. Time skip. A week later, the group was on the outskirts. Thank you for helping with my arm problem, said Naruto, and giving me some of those extras as well. It was my pleasure, said Mifune, as Naruto turned towards Misa, and thanks for the advice. And for being a new friend, he said. She smiled, she gave him a hug, as she whispered in his ear, no problem, maybe later, we can be more than friends. As she backed up, see the blush on his face, it made her giggle, as Goren giggled as well. Naruto, make sure to do those exercises, to keep the arm up, and fully usable. I will, said Naruto, but just to make you know, I'll get this thing under full control, and I'll become one of the strongest ninjas around. You better believe it, he said. As Zabuza chuckled, as the group waved goodbye to them as they made their way off. That boy is something else, said Mifune, as he saw Naruto raise the metal arm in the air as they walk off. Indeed, I think by the time the exams come around, he will find a village. That is why I want to see what the new generation can do. Father, said Misa, sounding curious. For that to be done, I think that we should host the exam this year. As Mifune turned towards the second in command, let the villagers know. Yes, sir. As Misa smiled. Naruto, we may be seeing each other again very soon, she thought to herself. Time skip. 1 month later. It has been a month since they left Iron Country, and they traversed the land of Earth. Their training had skyrocketed after their defeat by the hands of Itachi. Well, they pushed themselves, and not to mention now, they had a Sannin at their side, and another powerful medic. As Naruto learned how to use the claws, as he called them, and put them to good use, Haku made a few more special moves that were quite deadly. And also Zabuza had an experience on his own. He got with Shizune. Yes. In their month of traveling, he got with Shizune. As the both of them had been spending more and more time together, things became physical with them. And there was a surprise. Shizune was expecting. Tsunade was shocked as she went into a rage, trying to kill Zabuza, but Shizune managed to calm her down, as Shizune was actually happy. At the moment though, Zabuza was putting Naruto and his team to work, as they got missions every now and then. It was through payment Haku got a summoning scroll. He rarely used it, but it was called the Leviathans. At the moment though, Zabuza had set up an odd mission for them. It was more of a treasure hunt than anything else. They had to get a strange jewel, called the Demon's Eye. All the client wanted to know if the jewel existed at all. It was a rather odd request, and Zabuza was acting strange, but they took it anyway, as they were here to meet a partner of sorts. As Naruto led them as they saw the woman, she had orange eyes, mint green hair. She was wearing a shirt that exposed her stomach, but she had on fishnet shirt under that. It was a white sleeve shirt. She was wearing a white skirt as well, with shorts underneath. Her forehead protector was shown on her right arm. That she was from Taki. She also had a cylinder on her back, a red one. Naruto being Naruto just walked up to her with a smile. So you're our partner for this, huh? Cool. Name's Naruto Uzumaki. The girly boy behind me is Haku. And the girl there is Gorin, he said. As Haku smacked Naruto behind the head. I can introduce myself. I know. But I was just being nice, said Naruto. The girl from Taki chuckled to herself. Don't worry, she said. I appreciate. I'm full, by the way. As she looked a bit nervous. There's a reason I'm by myself. And I hope that you don't hate me for it. My village chose to avoid me. Because I'm the Jinjuki of the Seven Tails. I just wanted to be upfront with it, she said. Fu was confused at her reactions. Confused her, Gorin's eyes were twinkling, as she kept on looking at Naruto and back at Fu. The girly boy looked rather happy, while Naruto looked on her with a look of awe. Well, it is stupid that your village avoids you, said Naruto. And for me to avoid you, that would be rather hypocritical, because I'm also a Jinjuki, and I possess the 9 tails. Her eyes widened, as she pulled him in for a hug. Awesome! You're like me, she said. As she pulled him back. You guys don't have a problem with me either, right, she said, looking towards the two others. They shook their heads, as that made her smile and pulled them into a hug as well. Well then, said Fu. New friends. Can I call you guys friends? They all nodded. The girl was rather upbeat. Let's go find some treasure. As they moved, Gorin held Fu back so she could better talk with her. She was just like Naruto, as Gorin thought that they would make a perfect match for each other. The both of them were loud, abrasive, and do things rather quickly, considering the girl's attitude from what she has seen so far. It was going to be the perfect match. Time skip. Yeah, said Jiraiya as he was talking with Zabuza. It was just a ploy. They will try to use the kids to get to you. Damn it, said Zabuza. Those cowards. Listen, they never said you couldn't. Go along. Let me help with the hunter ninja, said Jiraiya. No, said Zabuza. I knew that eventually they will find me. But I won't let them hurt those kids no matter what. If I do not succeed on this one, then look after the kids. Especially Naruto and my unborn child. Jiraiya blinked in surprise. Child? As he knew that Shizune and Tsunade were traveling with them. Tsunade was too old and hung up on Dan to care about another relationship. So it must be Shizune. I didn't expect that. But yeah, I'll look after them. Jiraiya knew that Tsunade wouldn't be happy to see him, but... well, things got bad so quickly. Meanwhile, so this is it, huh, said Naruto, as he looked at the cave. If people wanted some treasure from this cave, why hasn't anyone got it yet, he said. It's simple, we can't use chakra in there. There's something in there that prevents people from actively using chakra. That is why no one has ever found the treasure inside, said Fu. Yes, there are obstacles that no normal person can get around, Haku said. Huh? Why didn't I know that, said Naruto. Because you didn't read the mission paper, said Gorin. Alright, said Naruto. Don't worry. Let's just tackle one thing one at a time, said Fu, as they all felt a bit weaker the moment they entered. So this is what normal people deal with, he said. This sucks, as Fu laughed. I suppose it does, Naruto, but they still do a lot of things in life. As the two of them chatted, the two others behind them watched. They seemed to be getting along. Yeah, and maybe we can get Naruto with her, said Gorin. I don't know what it is, but they just seem right. And it's not just because they're both Jinjurikis. I seem to recall you saying something similar with Misa and Temari. Well, after you started like them. So, yes, there are many girls, but he has not chosen yet. So that is why it's up to us to find the perfect candidates and put them together. You know, sometime I don't get you, said Haku. Don't worry, she said. I'm just trying to help. But he's also doing a good job attracting the girls. I guess you're right, Haku said, as he watched the interaction between them. As they all came to a stop, as there was a massive hole in the ground. How are we gonna get across, said Naruto. Simple, I throw you. That seemed as Naruto screamed as she threw him across. As Haku and Gorin soon followed, screaming the entire way. Are you nuts? We could have died. But you did not, said Fu cheerfully. How did you do that anyway, said Naruto. Oh, the natural ability my tail beasts give me. I have great, natural strength, and it overpowered this cave a bit, said Fu. Super strength, huh? And all I get is super healing and great stamina. He didn't realize something. Wait, how are you gonna get over here? Oh, I'm going to try and fly, she said. I am not sure how long it will last, but I'm going to try. As she started to use the demonic chakra inside of her, before the cave could repress it, she shot it out as it formed wings as she leaped forward. But it did not last. Her eyes went wide as she started to fall. Gotcha! As Naruto grabbed onto her hand, as he pulled her up. Without his chakra, it felt a bit strange, as he ended up moving a bit to the left as she fell, right on top of him. As the both of them just looked at each other. Thanks, Fu said, as she was blushing. Oh, no problem, said Naruto, as he picked himself up and gave her an arm as she used it to pull herself as well. As Haku then noticed Naruto's sight, it was glowing. It was then that he heard something. What the hell? As a skeleton emerged. What the hell is going on? Said Gurren as she backed away. As Haku and Fu started to freak out a bit. As the thing then started to speak, but neither of them could hear what it was saying, except for Naruto, as his sight was glowing bright. Do you seek the treasure? The skeleton asked. Yeah, we seek the treasure. Are you saying that it actually exists? Said Naruto. Yes, but you will have to do something for the Pirate King. And what would that be? Said Naruto. His friends looked at him oddly. What was he talking to? As the thing was not talking English. I do not know, but the crew from the Great Blue will call upon you for help, the skeleton said, as it then vanished. What was that? Said Gurren. Apparently, after we get past all the traps, we have to do something for the dead people in there to get the treasure. Wait, ghosts? Said Gurren. As Naruto raised an eyebrow. Are you afraid of ghosts? He asks. As Gurren swallowed thickly. Time skip. Zabuza sat in the middle of a clearing, meditating, reviewing his life so far. He knew that it was luck that he was alive. Back in Mist, he failed big time to assassinate the fourth Mizukage, Yagura. And ever since, well, Hunter and Ninja have been going after him to end his life. As he failed the rebellion, and he also failed me. Then he found Haku and things started to go better. He knew if he went back, he would either be killed by Yagura or me, to leave her to deal with the rebellion. Still, Haku burned up his day, so he started to teach a kid. Then he found Naruto and Gurren, and they made his life that more great. Then there was Shizune and Tsunade. While Tsunade was a hard ass in the medical department, she made sure Haku learned what he needed to learn. Finally, there was Shizune. It was hard to get over me, as he knew that he still had feelings for her. But Shizune, there was just something about her, and he fell for her in that short amount of time. And she liked him as well, as she never threatened to melt him as well. And now she was pregnant. But his problem have caught back up to him. The Kira Shinobis were here. He would not let them use those kids like pawns to draw him out. So, you decided to come instead of run. Smart. After all, we were going to make an example and simply kill those kids once they exit the cave. Now I guess we don't have to. As Zabuza was surrounded, Zabuza cursed as he realized they were no normal hunter ninja. They were Yagura, personal guards. You know, with you still alive, the rebellion is still going great. Because you're one of their kicking forces. If you were to come back, you'd be a big thorn in the Mizukage side. So once you die, hopefully they will lose much of their spirit to fight, knowing that one of their heavy hitters won't be coming back. So tell me, what would it be? Suffer or die quickly? I have people to protect. I will return back to them, said Zabuza. So I guess this won't be pretty. As Zabuza exploded with power, as a chakra whips off him. I have something to fight for, he said. As the Kira ninjas all dropped into their stance. So do we. And with that they move. Meanwhile, a ship, said Gurren. As they entered the main chamber of the cave, it was huge. With a lake inside. On the other side there was an opening. A rather small opening. Alright, the dead guy did said. that the treasure's owner was the crew from the blue, said Naruto as he noticed that the ship was blue, but it was old, like really old. Like if someone touched it would fall apart, yet it was still on the lake. We might as well hurry up and get this over with, said Gorin. So we can get the hell out of this place, she said, as she looked around. She really didn't like this place. The group moved their way across the water until they were on the hollow deck. So what now, said Fu, as Naruto reached toward his sight. It has been acting up ever since. An energy exploded out of it and rocked the boat. It was then that things got strange for them. Time seemed to reverse right in front of their eyes, as the place became transparent. The nearby skeletons started to shake as images of their old self came up. If they were really pirates, they certainly did not look like it. A man wearing a red light vest, a yellow slash, a pair of blue jeans, and a straw hat. As he smiled, "Hi, the name is Monkey D. Luffy," he said. "Nice to meet you, Luffy," said Naruto. "So, I heard you need help." "Wait, you can understand them?" said Gorin. It was the same for the skeleton back there. A woman with orange hair, the top half of a blue striped bikini, blue jeans, a belt that held a staff of sorts, walked over. "Yes, we were pirates, a part of the Pirate King crew. So naturally, we die at sea. But there's something about this cave that makes us stay here. We need to leave and sail to the dead locker." "I'll do what I can," said Naruto. A man with short green hair, with 3 blades on his sword, came over. "Kid, what's your name?" he said. "Me? Or you can call me Naruto Uzumaki, the Grim Reaper Shinobi." "Luffy." And the girl with orange hair eyes widened at that as they looked at each other. As Luffy walked over, "You're a Uzumaki?" "Yeah," said Naruto. The woman moved forward and hugged him. As Naruto was confused, "Our line still exists? I'm so glad." "Huh?" said Naruto, confused. The green-haired man spoke. "Kid, Luffy and Nami are your ancestors. If I remember correctly, they're firstborn. Married a Senju and created the Uzumakis in Whirlpool." As Naruto's eyes widened, the Uzumakis were descendants of the Pirate King? "Cool," said Naruto. But he still wondered how they were stuck here. "I'm glad to have met some more of my family, but I'm still wondering, how did you guys got stuck here?" said Naruto. "I can answer that," a humanoid reindeer said in a squeaky voice. "This place was one of our hideouts since the old world government did not know that this place existed. However, the people here were not friendly to us, and at first they hurt Luffy and Nami's kid. They trapped us here. The cave-in killed us, and it takes one of their blood to open the stone doors." "Huh? So how do I open them?" said Naruto. "It's actually simple," the voice of another woman said, as she wore all purple cowgirl outfit. "All you have to do is call open. The only person can do it is someone alive, and it has to be a descendant of Luffy and Nami," the woman said. "That's it," said Naruto. "That sounds really simple, but hopefully it works. Wait, I want to give you guys something before you go." The group behind Naruto was overhearing the conversation because their hands were touching Naruto. Yes, all of them had a hand on his back. And because of their contact with him, they could hear what the others were saying. "I know it's not in my nature to be given like this, but this is a special occasion," said Nami. As Luffy nodded and nodded to one of the others, a long-nosed guy disappeared and came back with a treasure chest. "Naruto, this odd jewel is what we have. We found it, and we knew that it was worth a lot, but we never did anything with it. It's called the Demon's Eye." Naruto nodded and took the jewel. It was shaped like a perfectly cut diamond, but there was a strange black marking in the center. It looked demonic, just like Naruto's eyes when he go into the fox mode. The woman, the cowgirl, stepped forward to Haku. "I sense that this mask will be of use to you." The mask was pure white, but it had a depiction of 2 eyes looking at you. As Haku noticed a strange seal in her in the back, he will check that out later. Nami gave Gorin 2 staffs. "I'll give you 2 staff. Well, this one is more like a spear. The end is covered in diamond, and it has strange effects with those with earth powers. I am sure that you'll figure out how to use them." Gorin nodded as she was still trembling. She was afraid of ghosts, despite how nice they sound. The long-nosed one went up to Fu. "I am Usopp," he said. "The great pirate king." "Bullshit," one of them said, as the crew laughed, as he hanged his head. "Here, I made these, but I never got a chance to use them," he said, as they were 4 armbands and a necklace. "They give you the ability to create pheromones that influence target emotions as you desire. They are great for the kind of things ninja do." "Thank you," said Fu as she thought about a few missions, that these will come in really handy. "Okay," said Naruto, "I'll do this for you. And once again I'm glad to have met you all," as he slammed the site down. "Open yell!" But nothing happened. Is there, as a cracking sound could be heard, as the doors parted. The group had to jump off the ship, as the boat started to move. The crew gave all their trademark goodbyes, as the group felt like that was significant, as they watched as they sail off, and they were gone. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see this person do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notifications they posted. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto found the Uzumaki curse and enjoyed that guys over on Anime King 3. And also guys, over on Anime King 2 I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto had a powerful familiar. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. Yes, I did have 3 channels, and Making 2 and Making 3. And if you guys enjoy these, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, I'm all for now. See you guys soon. Peace out.